fuck you, Massdrop / THX. This is a ship 9500 moment. I just got shipped. All right? It hasn't happened in a long time. I've gotten a few tastes of it. I've gotten some flavors of like, wow. But the wow is expensive in Italian, or wow is, incredibly expensive in fucking Chinese. This is the last headphone amp you ever need to buy. I've heard come tale of like, hey, everybody, you heard about this new Massdrop THX AAA 789? I'm like, yeah, what about it? What about it? And everyone's like, oh, I sold my $1,200 headphone amp because this exists. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. Well, now, fuck me. Because it's been a couple hours. All honesty, I've had it for over a week and a half, 2 weeks now. And I'm like, fuck it. It's got a nice knob. But I'm doing reviews. I'm setting on my desk. I said, okay, I need a balanced DAC for this. Forget the RME. I pulled the SMSL VMV-D1 off of my main table, and I put it there and plugged this in with the power brick. And it's like, all right. And then I was using like Aeolus, and I was like, let's see how this works. And fuck! So, let me tell you about THX. If you don't know what THX is, it used to be when you started a movie, it went whom THX. That was the big joke. Tiny Toons Summer Vacation, trust me. THX is basically, as far as I know right now, is you pay lots of money to them, and then you can put their logo on your stuff. And that's the way it's been for a long time. Where it's like getting a Cedia fucking thing. It's just like, yeah, everyone knows THX. Oh, I know that. That's for movies and stuff. That's good. Like Lucasfilm. I think Lucasfilms own them or whatever. But it turns out, and I know this because I was at CanJam 2 years ago, THX is actually developing technologies. I know, it's crazy, right? You think a company that develops sound technologies would just stop and just start, being bullshit forever. They demoed a headphone amplifier at CanJam 2 years ago that was the size of a Raspberry Pi. The actual board was the size of a Raspberry Pi. And they plugged in a source, and they plugged in some headphones. I forget what they were. And they plugged in a multimeter to it. And they didn't plug in power. Instead of power, what they had was the smallest little battery from like inside of a Bluetooth receiver or something. It was this little fucking tiny, maybe like 3 nickels stacked on top. If you're not from America, you won't know what a nickel is, so shut up. But I'm sure you have like toonies and yen. It was like 300 yen. Just this little fucking chiclet battery, like this big, like the size of the tip of my thumb. And it was going into this little board, and you had a source coming in, and you had these incredibly hard to drive headphones. And you put it on, and they said, yeah, we're never changing that battery. We're going to run the whole show with it. And the multimeter showed exactly how much power it was using. Nothing. And that, if you go to the Massdrop page for this amp, you can go down to the bottom, and it'll talk about how THX developed a technology that's super efficient in this and this and this and this and this. Now, I got Class A. I got Class A right here, all right? The big QES Labs is 12 pounds of insanity. And it's probably one of the best headphone amps I've ever heard. And sitting beside it for $350 on Massdrop is one of the best headphone amps I've ever heard. And it doesn't get warm. Like they say, oh, it can get warm. You need to wash these vents. They're lying to you. This is colder than the room. It somehow makes cold. Let's look at the amp before I go into telling you how it is the most amazingly clean and powerful and well separated. And the knob, the fucking knob, we're going to talk about that, the knob, all right? It's a black box, and I hate black box. Black box, black box, black box, black box, black box. Black foam blocks. This is my fault. I can get these in purple, and I don't. Time to change your ways, Zeos. The back of it is just a pure amplifier. There's no DAC, there's no Bluetooth, it's just a switch that'll either go bypass for the power or auto off, so in 2 hours, no sound, it'll shut off. Which, it's current, how much is it drawing? I have to unplug all that shit down there, and this thing. to find out. But it doesn't draw much because it doesn't make a lot of heat. So you have a bypass switch for basically the Save the Rainforest switch. So we can leave it on. If there's no sound for 2 hours, it'll turn off. You get your power plug, which is this little rinky-dink 24-volt to a transformer down there. And like, oh, that's cute. But remember, THX can run everything off a battery for fucking 6 days. Your XLR balanced inputs. You get RCA inputs, which right now are being performed by the EL DAC because I trust that the most. And there's a single-ended pass-through, which is just literally a pass-through. So you want to hook this up. You want to hook this up to a tube or this up to a speaker amp, like the Emotiva A100. That's fine. It just passes out. That's the back. The front is, excuse me, a power button, and it's not a clicky like this here. Look, in and out, power button. This is a digital button. I thought it was broken when I first got it, and I unboxed it. And like, that goes in and out, and that doesn't go in and out. That just presses. You got a little tiny pinhole indicator, red while it's getting ready, white when it's running, so it's there. You can see it. It's doing its thing. That's all it does. Balanced, single-ended quarter-inch, single-ended 3.5 millimeter. This gain control knob, which I'm going to turn in a second. A volume knob, which is really smooth. I like the sharp edges, and then the input to choose between RCA or XLR. Quality button feel. Quality on that too. I don't want to keep turning on and off. The volume knob. All the edges on this are not sharp, but they're not as rounded as I like. This has got the edges cut off, and it's okay. And this has got like character in the chiseled nature of the box. I know this sounds like a pretentious art review, but I'm a little bit smitten right now, so you gotta let me have it. It's got the logo here. This is apparently the new Massdrop logo, is like the vertical like bridge thing, which are the vent holes. It says THX. First of all, the name THX AAA 789. One of those things can go. Either the THX AAA, or the AAA 789, or just the 789 from Massdrop. I don't know. But the fascia is beautiful. The legs on the bottom are nice with rubber. It doesn't weigh much. It's not heavy. Like, it's not... The whole point of it is it's light. This fucking DAC is like 12 pounds. And this thing is like, I don't know. It doesn't feel crap either. Like, it's not like it's thin. Like, if I squeeze this, it doesn't bend anything. It's really well put together. And the volume knob has that same, like, just so sharp edge, but it doesn't hurt. It just feels nice. And then the gain knob comes in, and oh, science. My father has amps from back in the day, like the 60s, 70s, early 80s. And they had knobs like this. And when you turn them, there was a satisfaction that you just haven't felt. I haven't felt this satisfied turning a knob in forever. Maybe the Edifier S350 DBs, those had those beautiful like bass and treble knobs that sort of popped in place and they were super smooth. But this just does... Literally, I must have turned this knob in different gains in the 2 weeks I didn't use it 47 times. Just kept going up to it going... Someone make me a fidget spinner that has this knob in it, and I will fucking sell fidget spinners. So, 3 gain settings, low, medium, high. It explains what they all are in the thing. Pasta makes fun of me listening to Weird Al, because I grew up with Weird Al. I always wanted to see Weird Al. I'm actually going to see Weird Al in the summer. But I hook up this tremendously expensive setup. I had Aeolus, $1,000. I had this, $350, so not super expensive. I had an $1,170 DAC, and Weird Al's playing the first song, and I plug it in, and I'm switching between balanced and non-balanced, and then I put it from quarter-inch to XLR balanced, and then I went, what the fuck is happening? Why do I hear so much more of everything in this song? It's a Weird Al song. It's Cable TV by Weird Al. Look it up. This is a great... I'm supposed to do a video. My patrons, my pay for patrons, which is the only patrons you could have, want me to do a video explaining balanced and the benefits of balanced. And I was putting that off because it's like, it's hard to quantify. And not now. Not now, it ain't. Because going from... Should I save that? Maybe I'll save that. Going from, like, just single-ended, like, let's say that this 3.5 millimeter, and we're in single-ended mode from the back, so coming from the EL DAC, and you put this on, and, well, these are fucking T20s, so I gotta put it up. Should turn it on first. Lower the volume, click, playing music nice and fast. Okay, this is single ended. Now, this is louder than that, so I gotta lower a little bit. And, oh, I definitely could tell the difference between DACs. I could hear a difference in DACs. Do you understand what the fuck that means? And that is a great fucking DAC. But it's single ended. It's only got RCAs. That's a full-fledged fuck you in the face balanced DAC. I'm pretty sure that's one of the bullet points, is what they call it. So, I mean, I have to adjust the volume because the XLR is louder and I'm doing the switching. But, oh, yeah, oh. And no, secondly, I've got the gain all the way up. And these are T20s, which are basically T50s, which are Argons, which are T60s, which are... So these are the ones, the reason I have this thing that pumps out 8 watts a channel. Now, this is not wired up balanced. I kind of wish it was, because... Let me give you some power specs. The single-ended output, which is the 3.5 millimeter, or 1/4 inch, can put out at 16 ohms 3 watts, and at 32 ohms 1.8 watts, and then it doesn't show 50 ohms, which is what this is, but the next thing is 300 ohms at 200 milliwatts. Balanced at 16 ohms puts out 6 watts with no heat, with no temperature, with no effort. It's the most... These numbers don't make fucking sense. I know all about these stupid numbers. And like, yeah. Total harmonic distortion on this amp. And I'll read just the balanced numbers. At signal to noise of negative 143 decibels, which is like a joke number. At 300 ohms at 1 milliwatt is 0.000007%. That's zero. That's not measurable. How the fuck did they even measure that? The numbers never don't have 4 zeros after the decimal place. You know what the fuck that means in electronical terms? Electronical? That a word? Okay. So the numbers make it sound like... I didn't read those numbers, by the way, before I made the decision to review this, like, tonight. That's just confirming my suspicions that, yeah, heavy-duty Italian powerhouse, murder balls, 200 degrees, sounds amazing and warm and fucking full. Pure science. Fucking Albert Einstein's fucking DNA just slathered like mayonnaise on the inside of this, and then sent to space, and then Yuri Gagarin, and then throws it back, and then fucking just to kill the dinosaurs, and just time machine, and it's the phone microwave, it's going to send D-mails. It's just purely the newest, absolute, cuttingest fucking edge technologies that have ever existed and anything to do with audio is what's in this. Period. And it costs $350. It doesn't cost $6,000 or $66,000. I've been to Rocky Mountain. I know how much shit can cost. It's like cheating. It sounds like it's cheating. Let's unplug this. Let's turn that down. Keep it on balanced input. Otors. Right? Right? Can everyone agree Otors are fucking amazing? If you don't know, I haven't reviewed them yet. They're fucking amazing. We're going to start single-ended from that DAC. Lowest possible gain. Halfway. It's got a better song than that. Ooh, The Art of Self-Destruction, Part 1 by Nine Inch Nails. I really like that song, but I don't think it's going to work. Oh, never mind. Maybe it will. Okay, switching to balanced. I'm at 1 o'clock. This is as loud as I'd ever need these headphones to go on the lowest gain on XLR input. I've been reviewing these ZMFs for a while. I've had them for a couple months now, month and a half, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and I've never heard them before. I've heard them on this, and this is really good. This is nice and clean and punchy, and I love it, and it's warm. And this is the best thing I've ever heard headphones on. I'm going to delete everything in my fucking review space. I bought this. Someone was going to loan it to me, and the day they offered to loan it to me, like an hour before they had emailed me, then I bought it just saying, everyone's fucking jerking off about this thing. I got to see what it's about. And then I saw his email. I'm like, I bought it already. And it's like, thank God. Because it would have been one of those situations where I would listen to it, then I would say, all right, I'll buy you one, and you let me keep this. But now I don't have to do that. I get to keep it all on my own. There's a very, very strong possibility that I sell my own S7 right over there. The one that I've had on my desk. That's my desk, where my desk goes, where this DAC lives. That's like the highest end stuff is over there. And there's a strong, like, musky smell of I'm going to sell that just to make room to put this there and do the black stack again. The thing is, a lot of people are buying these. There's 1,000 of them sold on Master Up already. And I'm not sure if they're all feeding them what your DACs are. If you own one of these or you know someone who does, please tell me what DAC are you feeding it with. Because everyone's always like, oh, DACs don't make a difference. Those assholes. Who the hell are they? Wait, that's me. My next review, after I review this, I'm putting this camera off and putting the camera back on, and I'm going to review this DAC, this $1,100 DAC. And it was going to be a hard sell because, DACs have a limit. And not now, they don't. Not now, Buster. I can hear everything that this $1,100 DAC is doing because of this amplifier. That's absurd. My brain is fucking melting. All right? I'm not going to go say USB cables make a difference now, but there's like... Well, I'll talk about it when I talk about that, about what it's actually changing. The fact that I can hear it through this sells this. Okay? I'm befuddled by it. It's the REM's cleavage of amplifiers. Like, I don't... the bass is doing this, like... It's like it's perfect. It's like I could just tell it's perfectly flat, and there's no distortion anywhere in it, and it just delivers sound. Without effort, without heat, without any hardship. If I have the lowest gain for these headphones, and I would never put it up, if you switch inputs on it, here's one of the things. This output's a little more voltage than that because it's XLR. And when you switch inputs, because you have to adjust the volume. It gets louder with that. Then when you plug in balanced versus single-ended to the same pair of headphones, it gets louder that way. So I've had it so where one pair of headphones that was coming out of the unbalanced DAC and coming out of the unbalanced output, and I had it have it on third gain slot, and it was around, 10, 11 o'clock. Oh, no, it was at 1 o'clock. And then I plug it through XLR, and all of a sudden I got to be in the lowest gain at 11 o'clock. So... the varying amounts of channel from the different inputs and the different outputs is like math. I'm just plugging into math. I'd love to look inside this. I'd love just like Emma Watson. I want to just look inside it. Wait, that sounds creepy, like in a murderer sort of way, but maybe not. This. I can't. Like, this is the end of the song. This is Nine Inch Nails, The Art of Self-Destruction, Part 1, from Further Down the Spiral. Let's do a music review. Are you ready? The end of the song is pure distortion. Like, it just goes fucking nuts. It's Nine Inch Nails back when he was actually angsty. And every time I listen to it with any headphone, it usually sounds like ass. So let's skip right to the really bad part. Right there. And see how this sounds. I could hear every instrument, every soundboard, every separation of everything that's happening. And that has to do with three things. A, our tours are amazing. B, that DAC is amazing. Although I could switch to this and probably have a very similar experience. But this thing is the benchmark. Period. It's foundation stone of a fucking building. You put this on your desk, and then you worry about everything else in your life now matters. All right, done. Amp is done. Now let's start playing with DACs and headphones and players and music. It's like once this is here, it's like you're done. You're just here, white paper, just white, blurred it out. Can't even see it. Now we just gotta worry about DACs, headphones, my sources, this new music. The girl at the ice cream store, she's cute. You can stop worrying. You can stop worrying about what amp to get because you bought it. What else comes after this is the question for me. This is like revision 1, first release of THX technology. I fucking love it. There's a portable player. They want a lot of money for it, but the efficiency is the whole point. And I'm just gonna buy the fucking portable. I'm sold. All right. THX has been like a joke thing for a long time because it's been like, haha, THX certified TV fucking calibrator. Who gives a shit? They give you like, here's $600. Put our logo on your thing. But this is serious, and this is real, and this is insane. And this knob, it's worth $350 to buy it for the knobs. All right. Where do I go from here? Because now it's going to be every headphone amp I get, even close to $300. Buy this instead. This is one of those shitty reviews where I just love it to death, and then I realize, oh shit, I just ruined my business model. I don't have any more. There's no more amps that are any good. Why would I even bother reviewing the other amps? This is fucking amps. The REM is in the description. This is in the description. It's mass drop, but I think this is one of those items they stock because it says there's 16 hours left right now as I'm recording this, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna still be there when this comes out. I don't know why they counted down. I guess it makes people panic and buy things. Links to other things in the description. I don't know what. Maybe this DAC, maybe these headphones, maybe the Bible. Maybe we all have to start reading the Bible. Something. I feel like I went to a religious experience. This is E-Reviews. The Patreon money bought this. The Patreon money would sell it if it was no good or just average, but this is fuck all exceptional. So the Patreon will have a yard sale from the 1st to the 10th every month, and I will sell something else. Whether it will be my S7, maybe? I can just give you a maybe on that. There will be things there, though, if you want to buy, and you probably see this review a couple days early, if you which is good, because if they run out of these, my patrons get them first. Plus, you get to ask me questions, and if you pay a little more, you get to ask me questions directly on Telegram, which if you're good at something, never do it for free. Anyway, thank you for joining me. At least it's not a trap in the background this time, right, guys? Unless REM is a trap. Would be the hottest trap. Thank you. Goodbye.